And now it is time to stand up to sing our community songs. So please stand.
Good morning. Oh, let me adjust a minute. Here we go.
An incredible thing is happening. We're all here. Me and you and me. It's good to be near. I show my appreciation. I declare my dedication. I'm so grateful for this atmosphere. Let's sing that again. An incredible thing is happening. We're all here. Me and you and me. It's good to be near. I show my appreciation. I declare my dedication. I'm so grateful for this atmosphere. This is a special time. We're all here and feeling fine. As we go, we know our lives are entwined. This is a special time. This happening. An incredible thing is happening. We're all here, me and you and me. It's good to be here. I show my appreciation. I declare my dedication. I'm so grateful for this atmosphere.
Good morning again, and welcome to everyone here in the room, all the folks who just came in, and all the folks who've joined us on YouTube. Good morning, good morning. This is the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, and I am your Minister Emeritus, Reverend Lanny Howard, and I'm honored to be here with you this morning. It's my pleasure to remind us of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of the science of mind and spirit. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, our talents, and our treasures. And we intentionally promote our community and our teaching because we know how it has enriched our lives. So now we're going to have our inclusion candle lighting. And Madeline, would you like to light the candle for me this morning? There's matches. There's matches. There's matches. We light this candle to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen, to remind us of the light of spirit within all of us. Thank you, Madeline. So what's alive in you today? Joy. Happiness. I'm sorry. Family. Thankfulness. Too much food. Ian, you said something. What was it? Okay, thankful. Yes, we all got a chance to be thankful. Devote a day to thankfulness. I think that's the greatest holiday ever. Community. All right. Gorgeous days. Gorgeous fall days. Yes. Beautiful sunrises, beautiful sunsets. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So we are a praying community. So there are lavender prayer slips in the seat backs in front of you or over on the desk by the front door. You can complete the prayer list, prayer request, and put it in the little box, the little wooden box that there is on the table by the front door. And after the service, you could have a prayer with our practitioner for today, Shira Banbury. So those of you who are joining virtually, you could ask for prayer by going to our website at sierracenter.org and clicking on spiritual support and then prayer. And one of our practitioners will reach out to you. So welcome guests. If you are here for the first or second time, would you raise your hand? You don't have to do anything special, just raise your hand. Okay, everybody's been here for a while, so we won't have any new member packets or new guest packets to hand out today. But if online, what do we do for online folks? Read the website. Read the website. It's got lots of good information on it. And of course, This is the first Sunday in December, and that means if you have a birthday in December, would you stand so we could sing happy birthday to you? All right. All right, birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you.
Yay. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being here on the planet at this moment in time. You are an essential part of what's going on here. So thank you for being here. So now I'm going to invite our new board member, Carol, to come up and give us our announcements for the day. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Carol Unterseer. I apologize for the voice, but my cold is moving forward and dissipating. So, here are today's announcements. Membership renewal cards went out last week. I brought mine in today, so that's great. If you didn't receive one, would like to become a member of our lovely community, there are cards in the foyer. Please fill one out and place it in the basket. At long last, the SOM magazines have arrived. Have they? Okay, this is what it says. Pick up your November, December double issue in the foyer for $10. I've been waiting for that. Third one, we need help with live streaming congregant care in Children's Church. Please see Geraldine for Children's Church info or sign up in the foyer. Today is our community potluck ugly sweater contest. I brought my ugly sweater. I had to find one. And holiday tree trimming after service. Stay and eat, and decorate with us. Fifth announcement, Sacred Dance Circle, Monday, December 2nd from 10:30 to noon at Sierra Center here at 119 Florence Avenue. Please arrive at 10:15 a.m. RSVPs are appreciated. Please call Judy with any questions at 530-798-0385. Next, we have Tuesday, December 10th. We will have a Blue Holiday support group from 6 to 7 p.m. for those who struggle during the holiday season. So if you have anybody that would benefit from this supportive time, please invite them. Number 7, Poetry Open Mic with Reverend Lonnie will be Friday, December 13th from 5 to 6 p.m. here at our center. Our next Board of Trustees meeting is Sunday, December 15th after service, and of course all are welcome. Please let our office know and how you can be connected for that. Movie night is coming. How the Grinch Stole Christmas will be Thursday, December 19th, 5:30 to 7:30. We will bring the popcorn. Children are welcome, and I think our adults are welcome as well. December 22nd, after service, we'll have caroling in the sanctuary. Join us to sing classic holiday songs and enjoy some cider. And Tuesday, December 24th, from 6:30 to 7:30, we are having a Christmas Eve service and candle lighting. Ceremony filled with holiday cheer and reverence for this season. Almost there. We mentioned this last week. If you shop at SBD Market and would like a portion of your what you spend to go to support our center, without costing you anything, please sign up for the e-script. I know we still have forms here on the foyer. Please just pick up the application, complete, and give that to the cashier. Next time you shop, they will send you, anyway, you'll receive a card at checkout. 3% of your total purchase goes to us, which is fabulous. This is a fantastic way to support our businesses and as well as practice the law of circulation. If you have questions, would like more info, please don't hesitate to ask Chana, our wonderful administrative assistant. All right, you can find all our Zoom links, details about our announcements, and our weekly e-newsletter, and on our website, sierracenter.org. All right, I think that's complete. I'll let you do that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All righty. Okay. Where am I? So now we're going to have another community song, and you can stay seated for this one.
All the answers to every question, they come from within. Sing it with me. All the answers to every question, they come from within. Once again. All the answers to every question, they come from within. Ask and you shall receive. I ask and I receive. And so it is. Ask and you shall receive. I ask and I receive. And so it is. I am spirit in expression. This earth is my heaven. I am spirit in expression. This earth is my heaven. Once again. I am spirit in expression. This earth is my heaven. Behold, I am blessed. Behold, you are blessed. And so it is. Behold, behold, I am blessed. Behold, you are blessed. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
Thank you, Marilyn. And now is the time for our sacred reading. And so I'm going to invite our practitioner for the day, Sherrod Banbury. And there's your host.
Good morning. So I was thinking a lot this morning about what I wanted to read from, and I found about 15 different readings that I wanted to share with you. So first I'm going to tell you about this new book, The Spark That Ignites. It was written by my friend, Reverend Dr. Karen Oxrider. And she is someone that I know and I practice practitioner class with every month from CSL Kauai. And she just published this book and it's wonderful. She and her husband have traveled all over the world. And she talks about her familiarity with Jane Goodman, the gal who worked with the gorillas, and her philosophy, and other people like that, and walking the Camino. So I wanted to read something from that, but it was too long. So I'm going to read again from this book that I love, The Words That Heal. And there's one on page 46 called Giving is Receiving. The law of giving flows from this truth. Rather than being a fixed entity, the universe is a dynamic, flowing, moving stream of energy. When you give of yourself unconditionally, you create a temporary imbalance that must be corrected. Like the molecules of air rushing in to fill a vacuum, the universe strives to replace the good that you have given out. Often the flow will come back from a totally unexpected source. For example, you may spend a day helping Anne move into her new home. 6 months later, it is your turn to move. Anne may be unavailable to help you, but Jesse calls and offers his assistance. A year later, Jesse receives some much-needed support from Bob. Like the angels of Jacob's ladder, we are one interconnected spiritual chain reaching up to a higher ground. There are many ways to give. You can give of your time, your money, your talents, or yourself. There are many people to whom you can give, your family, friends, or those in the human family whom you do not know. It doesn't matter how you do it, the principle is the same. Every time you extend yourself outward, the universe extends itself to you. Whenever you put another first, the universe puts you first. The more you give, the more you receive. Strive to reach out and take the hand of the soul next to you. As you extend yourself in love, you will be uplifted to a new state of joyful awareness. That's from Words to Heal by Douglas Block. So our community value today is gratitude. We've been doing a lot of that this past week. Seems like lots of prayers have been going around and lots of thanks, and we so cherish our community here. And so that word means much more, doesn't it, to each of us, because our gratitude is much more personalized. So when we think about what's grateful in our lives, we oftentimes think of things like just being alive, being healthy, being a member of a family, or having a community of friends that support us. Whatever that gift is, it's multiplied every time we think about it. So I'm going to invite you now to come into a time of inward shift and think about what you're grateful for and really make that connection with your spirit inside yourself. And we're going to talk about Om. It's not a symbol, it's a sound, a vibration, and a mantra. It's considered the primordial sound of the universe. When you chant Om, you're connecting to the universe's fundamental vibration. Om is used to center your mind and connect your breath to the universal energy. And so now I'm going to ring the bowl 3 times, and we'll chant Om after each ringing of the bowl, and then we'll go into a 5-minute meditation. After that 5 minutes, I will say a prayer for all of us to participate in. divine love, divine spirit, the awe of all that is here in this moment right now. It surrounds and operates in and through all of its creation. And so when the beauty and the majesty strikes our hearts as we look at the mountains and the trees and the rivers and the flow of the ocean, all of that is in us. Every cell of everything that is that life energy in form. And so I know and claim for myself and for everyone at Sierra Center for Spiritual Living and everyone who is watching that we are divine. We are magnificent. We are all part of that one spirit. And so I know when things are operating in that perfect alignment of the universe and all of its many ways of showing its beauty and the multiple universes and way beyond that are beyond our understanding, all of that wonder is right here in us. And so I know that in this moment, Sierra Center for Spiritual Living is filled with that love and that life and that perfect mind and perfect health. That as we consider our own lives, we also take in and breathe for everything everywhere. We are of one. There is only one. We are simply little individuated ideas within that one that have come into form. And so I'm giving my gratitude today for all of the people who come to Sierra Center, for our families and friends, for the gifts of opportunity to take action, whether it's service as ministers or practitioners or board members or people who do the tech work or the sound work. Everyone who comes here gives just by showing up. And that is part of the tapestry of our center. And we are connected to 399 centers across the country. We are one with all. And so I'm deeply grateful to know that we all support each other in every moment. The giving and receiving is always present. And so we open our arms and we open our hands to each one who enters. And we touch our hearts knowing that we are connected. I'm so grateful to know these truths, to be a part of this, and to speak my word into the divine law of all that is everywhere, that divine consciousness that is eternal without beginning and end, universal life. And so it is.
And now Marilyn will gift us with some special music.
God's love is my love. It's all inside of me. God's hands are my hands. I use them consciously. God's love is my love. It's all inside of me. Breathing, all I need to know, I know. Breathe out, all there is I allow to flow. God's ears are my ears. I listen patiently. God's love is my love. It's all inside of me. God's might is my mind. I think in harmony. God's love is my love. It's all inside of me. Breathe in, all I need to know, I know. Breathe out, all there is I allow to flow. God's eyes are my eyes. I honor all I see. God's love is my love. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of me.
Can we give it up for Marilyn again? She puts all this together, and she's our musical director. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm Reverend Mitch Austin, the spiritual director here at the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. So grateful to be with you. So glad you're here today. Turn to somebody and say, glad you came today. Let's greet each other. Glad you came today. Glad you came today. Good to see you. You know else who came today? Reverend Julia's in the house. I'm going to call her out. All the way from Texas with us. We miss you, and we're so glad you're with us today. I'm going to start with a little story, fun little story. So there was a guy who was opening a new business, and his friend wanted to send him a gift. So he went to the florist and ordered an incredible bouquet arrangement for his opening day. So the friend went to the opening day ceremony at his friend's business, and he looked around for the flowers that he asked the florist to send. And he saw this wonderful wreath, and on the arrangement it said, "Rest in peace." He was understandably confused and angry, so he went over to the florist and said, "How could you do that?" And the florist apologized and said, "Look at it this way. Somewhere in the city, there is a funeral with a wreath that says, 'Good luck in your new location.'" I love that one. Glad you did too. Laughter's good for the soul. So the original title of this was supposed to be The Places in Between, but then I got inspired. Spirit kept telling me, do the other one, do the other one. So the title of today's talk is Grace-Filled Endings and Beginnings, which that little joke had. Both of them. Grace-Filled Endings and Beginnings. And I think it's really relevant right now to talk about endings and beginnings, right? We're going through a lot of transition, end of the year and the new year, end of the 4-year presidency, now a new 4 years, right? End of the time period here where we had been in transition for a new minister, now a new minister. So there's a lot of change happening. I thought, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, when I was a kid, I don't know about you, but life was a race. I was racing to get the red rubber ball at Christmas, at the recess, right? You wanted the prized rubber ball, or I was racing to get to the tetherball court first. Anyone tetherball, remember that? Yeah, so I was always racing around, right? Racing to get back before curfew. Doing that a lot. Then when I became a teenager and young adult, life was more like a contest, right? I was always out trying to outdo my peers or be the best, or, you know, I'd look and see if someone got a better grade than me. I was eye hustling all the time. You know? It was always a contest. And then in my middle years, life to me was a ladder. And I was always trying to get up the ladder of success, checking the boxes that I was told I needed to check for a great life. You know, house spot, check. Partner, check. Great professional job that's secure, check. Making lots of money, check. Social life, check. Until the ladder fell over. And the ladder fell over in a way because I was out there checking boxes and running up a ladder, but not really checking with my soul, my spirit, what it wanted. I was in a job I didn't love. I was in relationship with somebody who I really shouldn't have been in relationship with. I was really bankrupt, financially, morally, spiritually, in every way. And then I had, you know, a health crisis because there wasn't anything else to leave except my health at that point. And so I was forced to do life differently. I was forced to end the way I was living and then enter a journey of the unknown. I actually quit my job. I took off a year to heal. And it sent me on this journey where I found Science of Mind, Centers for Spiritual Living, and I began the next chapter of my unfolding. And I had to do it differently. So what I know and what I love is when we look at these transitions, right, the ending, the in-between, and the beginning, nature gives us a whole lesson in that, doesn't it? When we see the leaves letting go in the fall, all the way to the point that they're bare, and we see the flowers releasing their petals and the plants and everything going within to the stillness of winter, where it looks like nothing's alive, nothing's happening, but so much is happening in the dark and the unseen places. And then spring comes where the earth defrosts and the sun comes out, and we start to see life return, a new beginning, and summer in full bloom. Right? So much we can learn just by observing the grace of all of those transitions. And of course, right now, we just came to the point where we celebrated Thanksgiving, we pulled out all our china, or we made plans, and now we're off, you know, Black Friday and getting presents or planning our holiday season for December, whatever that looks like for you. So I want to talk about how there's always something pulling and pushing us to the next right path. Seneca says, When it looks like the end, start looking for the beginning. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. That's why I started with grace-filled endings. And sometimes we don't give endings enough credit, right? We seem to bemoan them or labor over them or even hang on to them, like nails down the door of letting something leave. So there's 4 parts I want to talk about in grace-filled endings and beginnings. The first is the call or the shift where the winds have changed. You ever been at a point in your life you go, you know, something's changing. Something's changing here, or I'm being called to something. Then, hopefully you listen to it, then the something starts to show up and things start coming apart. And then when the things start coming apart, you end up in that place where you aren't in the old and you're not in the new, you're in the between. Who knows the in-between? You ever experienced the in-between? Yeah, that's an interesting place. It's actually my favorite place, but it's also the scariest place because nothing feels certain. And then there's the reassemblance, the new beginning that happens. Any Elizabeth Gilbert fans? Eat, Pray, Love? Yeah, I love her. I've seen her speak. If you ever get a chance, see her speak. So after her success in the Eat, Pray, Love book, which was a massive bestseller, that wave of public admiration faded, right? And she found herself in an unexpected place. She felt pressure to live up in her next book to that hype and that success of the last book. And, despite that being the pinnacle of her career, she was still in this internal crisis about what was her purpose beyond the book's success. Was she just this one book, one-hit wonder? She was also going through a personal transformation in her marriage. Her marriage had ended. And so she was in this ending phase and upheaval, not knowing what was coming next. So now she was in the in-between. The success of the book had faded. Her marriage had ended. Now what? And as she discovered her path forward and she kept taking the next step, an idea for a book dropped in called Big Magic. Anyone read Big Magic? This book explores creativity and how to live beyond fear, which is really what she was living at that moment. She just took that experience and put it in a book to share it with us all. She also embraced a new relationship, found a deeper fulfillment in her personal life, and her story highlights the power of surrendering to the unknown, to trusting that when something ends, it's making room for a greater alignment with who you are becoming. What if we're unfolding who we're becoming our whole lives? Our whole lives. I know I'm still discovering stuff about myself. I'm like, really? I'm like that? I am. Something new to learn about myself. So even in periods of uncertainty and endings, there's a greater, higher energy working behind the scenes. We might call it grace or unearned favor, guiding us to our new beginning. You know, when I left my job, my very secure 6-figure job, I said yes to that pull, and then there I am, waking up in the morning, nothing to do, don't know what I'm doing. But Spirit knew what Spirit was doing. Pretty soon I found this center. I knew this center was a match for everything I knew was true, and I started a new journey. 4 years later, I was a practitioner, and now I'm a minister. So who knew? I didn't know. And sometimes we're not supposed to know. Jelle Van Zant always says, God never tells me more than I need to know, or I'd screw it up. Kind of get that. So let's start with number 1, the call or the shift. The winds are changing. We start to feel a restlessness. Maybe what worked before isn't working anymore. Maybe there's some unsettledness that we're feeling. I like to think that the caterpillar feels that way. I'm not feeling myself. I feel like I need to do something different. It starts spinning its own home to rest in. I had a call to leave my spiritual community of over 10 years. And I remember thinking, God, something feels different. Something's shifting. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And even though I couldn't put my finger on it and I knew it was time to leave, I didn't want to, right? I'm like, but this is my, my head, the head part goes, but this is my spiritual home. It's not time to leave yet, right? And then here's the thing. When the come apart starts to happen, that ending, you can either flow with it gracefully or you can be dragged. Anyone ever dragged? I was dragged. I had some very unpleasant experiences that made it clear that I just wasn't a match to that space anymore. I love what Rebecca Cena's Dominican sister says. Things are forever changing, and I found that in these journeys of transition, when endings are done well, beginnings are so much more peaceful, right? Because everywhere we go, there we are. So if we know we've come to an ending, even if it's unwanted, if we can bless it, if we can call it good, even if our mind doesn't know what that good is, we step in to the next phase with that energy. So Lynn Curtis, who's a mindfulness teacher, gives us some steps that we can go through when we're facing our endings and we want to move through them more gracefully. First step is tell the old story in a new way with gratitude. Because there's always something to be grateful for, a lesson or a blessing. So rewrite that story in your mind in a way that it feels better to you, because that's what you have control over. Second step is to resolve any regrets you may have with willingness and humility, right? Resolve regrets, owning and learning from them. Because shame and blame doesn't get you much, does it? It just lowers your vibration. So if we can move quickly to the lesson or blessing, now we're in the flow of the unfolding. Third step is to let go of the past. Let it be. Forgive yourself and others. So you can, not because you can get them off the hook, so you can free up your own energy. You're going to need it for the journey, for what's next, right? Because forgiveness isn't about the past. It's about the present. Do you want to bring the pain of the past into the present? And that's something you can control. Can't change what happened, but you can keep it from infecting this moment. Fourth step is invent a new story. If you're in the places in between, guess what? You get to make it up. You get to dream into the next unfolding of possibility. And when you do it, you can reclaim your joy, your power, your freedom, the future of possibilities as you let go of what was and step into what will be. Here's how Ernest Holmes says. He says to activate our power of expectancy. Expectancy, when we're in these spaces and we're dreaming into expecting our new good, he says expectancy speeds progress. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy. No matter how much good you are experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. Expect to meet new friends. Expect to meet new and wonderful experiences. This is the magic of expectancy. And soon you will discover a dramatic side to your work that gives you full vent to constructive feeling. So Ernest likes to use a lot of words for what is actually he's saying, full vent to constructive feeling, to feeling good, to feeling great. So once our ending is done, we enter the space in between, the bardo. Old life is gone, the new life hasn't come yet, and we're not fully settled. We're in this space of transition. I love what William Bridges says about this space. He says, it isn't the changes that do you in, it's the transitions. Change is not the same as transition. Change is situational. Transition, on the other hand, is psychological, right? It's not those events, but rather the inner reorientation and self-definition you have to go through in order to incorporate any of those changes into your life. You know, when I left the job, I was the community services superintendent. My mom loved telling everybody that. But when I left the job, I had a little crisis. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what to say I did at parties. well, I'm authoring a book. Yeah, that'll work for now, right? But I had a little bit of a crisis because it's easy to get attached to our labels and think we are that. But we're really so much more. We're just wearing the label for a little while, whatever it is. So in these moments where we want to cling, we want to sort it out, we want to figure it out, we want to know the how, I'm going to invite you to practice surrender, presence, being fully with what is, chopping wood and carrying water, doing the thing in front of you. And as you're chopping wood and carrying water, you could say an affirmation like this: I see my new beginning filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. I welcome it with an open heart. Just claim it ahead of time. Right? Pour into the unseen. Because our temptation, right, our survival brain wants to tell us something bad's going to happen. Yes? Right? It does something called fear casting. It takes a fact, and then it takes some logic, and it projects it into the future. Mitch, nobody's ever going to hire you again. You quit the job. You're going to be homeless, right? That was my fear casting going on at that time. Nothing could be further from the truth, actually. And then 3 comes the reassemblance, or the new beginning. T.S. Eliot says, what we call the beginning is often the end. And to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. The end is where we start from. Anybody ever see the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel movie? Oh my God, isn't it great? And this poor guy is trying to make all the guests happy, and the phone doesn't work, and there's something wrong with the room, and it's too loud, and they were promised all this stuff, and he's running around going, you know, in India we have a saying, in the end it's all good, and if it's not good, it's not the end. And he runs off trying to fix something, during it's a great movie. So I'm going to invite you right now. Take a little trip in your mind with me. Can you remember a wonderful beginning? Maybe it was meeting a beloved, a new friend, moving into a new home, a new job. Find some great beginning that you had experienced in your life that brought you joy and excitement. Can everyone think of something? Yeah? Nod your head. Now I want you to go back a little further back in time. What end made that beginning possible? What end made that beginning possible? And did we honor it? Probably not. So everyone knows I'm engaged. Woo, to Karen. And that's a new beginning. But before that, I had ended, some years before that, I had ended a 5-year relationship. That was really hard. I had a stepdaughter involved. So, when kids are involved, it's super hard. And then I made a promise I didn't want another relationship. I wanted the one, right? So that was my intention. So then I had a somewhat of a 1-year relationship, ended that. That wasn't the one. Then I had a 6-month. To see, I was getting better. That wasn't the one. Then I thought I was done. I'm like, I'm done. I'll just marry God. It'll be great. And then, of course, I went to a conference, and I met my beloved, Karen. So I got to honor those endings, because if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened. So maybe we can look at some of these endings differently and start looking for a new positive, joy-filled opportunity to come in. Now, you may ask, Mitch, what about unwanted change? Because there's unwanted change, right? Maybe you can look for a new kind of good in the unwanted change. Who knows Tuesdays with Morrie, the book Tuesdays with Morrie? Yeah, it's about a student who follows his professor through his journey with, I think it's ALS, and is trying to chronicle his life because they're very close and get all the lessons he can from his teacher, Morrie. And in the book, Maury's talking about a moment where he's lost the ability to wash himself. And so now other people have to do it. And I don't know about you, but for me, that's a fear. And in the book, he talks about how he surrendered into it and allowed himself to be like a baby again, to be cared for, to see it as a loving act and not a loss of dignity. What a teaching that is. That sometimes we can alchemize what we're experiencing by stepping into a new lens, a way of being with it. He couldn't change his situation, but he could change how he was going to experience it in the moment. So to have grace-filled endings and beginnings, which we all want grace-filled ones, right? Not the other kind. Listen to the call, to the shift, to the winds. And the sooner you can trust that and say yes and move forward, you won't have to be dragged, right? Because Spirit throws pebbles at the window until you get a brick. We get to choose, right? Nobody wants the brick. Nobody wants the brick. Do your work with the endings. Make sure that you do the good letting go with gratitude. Take the lesson or blessing. Bring that vibration into your in-between place as you're dreaming into the next what will be. And instead of fear casting, try faith casting. There's a power for good that's unfolding, that's going out before you, preparing the way. Let your mind dwell on that. And then lastly, during the new beginning, give gratitude for that ending again. Say thank you. That ended, now I can have this. Because we're going through a lot of change. Do you know we're going to go through more change in the next 30 years than we did in the last? Since 1994 when eBay started and we had Windows 95. I know. More change in the next 30 years. A big turning is going on. So I want to leave you with this poem called The Turning. In the quiet hush of the final hour, when shadows fall and dreams seem sour, an ending whispers on the breeze, a letting go, a soft release. The sun dips low, the light grows thin. We hold the space we're standing in. Grieving what we've left behind, afraid of what we've yet to find. But deep within, a seed takes root. Though unseen, it bears the truth. That every fall, each soft farewell, is where the dawn begins to swell. The river bends, the leaf must fall, the cycles turn for one and all. We think we're lost, but we've been found, a greater path, a sacred ground. For endings are not what they seem, they're woven threads within the dream. The ending is the gift of grace, a doorway to a new embrace. So trust the wind, the sky, and the sea, for life will birth what's meant to be. In every close, a bright beginning. In every loss, a secret winning. Anyone know who that's by? Want to know? Rug pull, you wouldn't know. What wrote it? ChatGPT AI wrote that. Now, I brought it because we're in transition from a world that didn't know AI. And now we're in a world that does. So the question is, how will you be with this new influence in our world? Will you embrace it for the gifts and good it has to bring, or the potential harm? And I would invite you to embrace the wisdom of Albert Einstein, who said the most important decision you'll ever make is, do we live in a hostile universe or a friendly one? That still applies. And the choice we make will be reflected in this new technology. Blessed be. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, if you would stand with me as we do our affirmation. I'll say it once and then repeat it with me. I trust that the path unfolding before me is directing me to a greater good than I can imagine or see. Together. I trust that the path unfolding before me is directing me to a greater good than I can imagine or see. And so it is. Blessed be. Blessed be. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Wowee. And now we will have a another song. And so we can stay standing or you can stay sitting if that's more comfortable. And then we will enjoy the song. Yay.
Okay. I invite you to sing with me. And we start with the mm-hmms, okay? I see what I need to see as I learn to live in serenity. I know what I need to know as I practice being in the flow. I do what I need to do as I learn to live a way that's new. I say what I need to say as I embrace my life today. Oh yeah, learning and growing is how I choose to live. The more I receive, the more I have to give. I hear what I need to hear as I breathe in a grateful atmosphere. I feel what I need to feel as I learn to love all that's real. I let go and release as I learn to live my life in peace. I go where I need to go as I follow the light within my soul. Learning and growing is how I choose to live. The more I receive, the more I have to give. Yeah, let's sing that again. I hear that harmony. Learning and growing is how I choose to live. The more I receive, the more I have to give. Okay, one more time. Learning and growing is how I choose to live. The more I receive, the more I have to give. Then we go with the mm-hmms.
Thank you, Marilyn. All right. So now is the time of our conscious giving. So for what we have received, we practice that law of circulation, and so now it is our time to give. So we always begin this with our prosperity affirmation. So please stand and say this together with me. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. All right, please be seated, and we'll play a little music while Pat passes the basket. Thank you, Pat.
Each of us knows our part. Sing it with me if you'd like. We are dancing in spirit. Each of us knows our part. We are dancing in spirit. Each of us knows our part. We are dancing in spirit. Each of us knows our part. We are dancing in spirit. Each of us knows our part. Once again, we are dancing in spirit. Each of us knows our part.
Thank you, Pat. So I gratefully receive these gifts with a full and joyful heart, knowing as they circulate within the center and back out into the community that they are infused with unity, joy, understanding, healing, wholeness. The energy of money carries these intentions with it and the intentions with which they were given. So I just give thanks for this demonstration of blessing for the center that is doing the work of spirit on the planet and shining brightly. I release this word, and together we say, and so it is. So before we jump into the thank yous, we're going to be doing a little potluck. We're going to get our tree together. And so if some people can help Chana in the back, we have to get some stuff out of storage. So if you're tall or fit or feeling vigorous today, if you can give us a hand for that, that would be great. And of course, we have the ugly sweater contest. So, you know, for a fee, you can win. I'm just saying. No, just kidding. It's completely impartial. So some thank yous today. I want to thank Pat for being our usher today. Thank you, Pat. Madeline for candle lighting. Carol for announcements. Gary and Chana holding down the streaming and the presentation. Maya doing our board for us. And practitioner Shara for the beautiful reading and prayer today. And thank you all for being here today. It's great to have a full room. So what are you taking with you today? What are you taking with you? Love. Gratitude. New beginnings. Appreciation. Friendship. Dreaming into the future. Yes. Patience. From patience. Oh, they were very pro. Faith casting, hey, that sounds great. I love that. Wonderful. So let's stand and we'll do our benediction. Here we go. So something wonderful is happening as me right now. It's this thing called life. It's this thing called faith casting. It's this thing called honoring the call. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. Join us for our song, our closing song.
Thanks. go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.